got to talk about something today because, of course, we've all seen it online and we're continuing to see it, right? The deportations. But more importantly, we're seeing the left try to make it sound and seem as if Trump is this horrible, terrible, no good, very bad person because he's deporting illegals. He's Hitler. He's a Nazi and blah, 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 blah. But you know what's funny? What Trump is doing and saying is the same thing that Democrats used to say themselves. And if you don't believe me, well, you've come to the right place because y'all know I always come with the clips, baby. And the great thing for us is that clips live on forever. And yeah, I did a little bit of digging. Now, a couple of these clips I have shown you guys in my YouTube shorts. If you watch my YouTube shorts, you've probably already seen a couple of them, but some of the others I've never shown you. So with that being said, let's hop into this video and we're going to start with Hillary Clinton sounding like a Republican. Let's dive in.
As to illegal aliens, we agree with you that we do not think the comprehensive health care benefits should be extended to those who are undocumented workers and illegal aliens. We do not want to do anything to encourage more illegal immigration into this country. We know now that too many people come in for medical care as it is. We certainly don't want them having the same benefits that American citizens are entitled to have.
Oh, so Hillary Clinton didn't believe in giving illegals healthcare benefits? Sounds like a Republican to me, but there's more.
So I think we got to have tough conditions. Tell people to come out of the shadows. If they've committed a crime, deport them. No questions asked. They're gone. If they've been working and are law-abiding, we should say, here are the conditions for you staying. You have to pay a stiff fine because you came here illegally. You have to pay back taxes, and you have to try to learn English, and you have to wait in line.
Hillary Clinton sounding like a Republican. You got to learn English. They can't speak their native language here in America, and we just capitulate and change the language of commercials and make sure we got, other languages on the back of manuals and things. You telling me they have to learn English? Interesting. And they got to move to the back of the line and pay back taxes? All right, well, here's her husband, Bill Clinton. Check it out.
All Americans, not only in the states most heavily affected, but in every place in this country, are rightly disturbed by the large numbers of illegal aliens entering our country. The jobs they hold might otherwise be held by citizens or legal immigrants. The public service they use impose burdens on our taxpayers. That's why our administration has moved aggressively to secure our borders more, by hiring a record number of new border guards, by deporting twice as many criminal aliens as ever before, by cracking down on illegal hiring, by barring welfare benefits to illegal aliens. In the budget I will present to you, we will try to do more to speed the deportation of illegal aliens who are arrested for crimes, to better identify illegal aliens in the workplace, as recommended by the commission headed by former Congresswoman Barbara Jordan. We are a nation of immigrants, but we are also a nation of laws. It is wrong and ultimately self-defeating for a nation of immigrants to permit the kind of abuse of our immigration laws we have seen in recent years, and we must do more to stop it.
We must do more to stop it, and everyone stood up and clapped. That was in 1995 in a State of the Union speech. Sounds pretty far right to me. I don't know about y'all. What do y'all think? Let me know. Here's old Chucky Chuck. Yeah, Chuck Schumer, the Democrat Senate minority leader today. Take a listen to what he had to say not very long ago.
This is an anti-fraud amendment. over where we go, people say, well, why can't you stop illegal immigrants or others from coming here? And the number one answer we give our constituents is when they come here, they can get jobs, get benefits against the law because of fraud. And here, the gentleman from Florida has put together the most effective anti-fraud measure we can find without it changing the actions of the government one bit. And we find all this opposition. Ladies and gentlemen of this chamber, what I worry about is that this bill, which started out with good intentions, whether you agree with it or disagree with it, is going to end up being the same kind of thing that the public gets angry with us on. We say we're doing something, and we do nothing. Because every time someone makes a rational and small proposal to get something done, people say, well, what about this hypothetical, that hypothetical, etc. I urge support of this amendment. If you believe you want to stop fraud in immigration, you have no choice but to support this amendment.
Gentleman's time has expired.
That was from 1996. To be specific, that is from March 19th of 1996. Chuck Schumer. You guys want to hear Barack Obama? Here it is.
This is not going to be a free ride. It's not going to be some instant amnesty. What's going to happen is you are going to pay a significant fine. You are going to learn English. You are going to go to the back of the line so that you don't get ahead of somebody who was in Mexico City applying legally. But after you've done these things over a certain period of time, you can earn your citizenship. So that it's not something that is guaranteed or automatic. You've got to earn it, but over time, you give people an opportunity. Now, it only works, though, if you do all the pieces. I think the American people, they appreciate and believe in immigration, but they can't have a situation where you just have 500,000 people pouring over the border without any kind of mechanism to control it. So we've got to deal with that at the same time as we deal in a humane fashion with folks who have put down roots here, have become our neighbors, have become our friends. They may have children who are U.S. citizens. That's the kind of comprehensive approach that we have to take.
Now, that's a little bit softer than Trump's approach, but it's pretty close. Doesn't sound like a Democrat to me. Just saying. I'm just saying, but there's more clips of Obama.
I think we should have strong border security. It doesn't make sense for us to allow hundreds of thousands of people coming through our borders without us knowing who they are. Oftentimes in very hazardous situations and unmonitored situations that could do us long-term damage. I think we should have a serious employer verification system where employers, when they hire somebody, find out what their work status is. Are they able to work here legally? Right now, what employers will say is, well, we check their Social Security card. That's the best we can do. So we've got to set up a tamper-proof system and then hold employers accountable. You pay a fine, you learn English, you stay out of trouble, you've got a job. You go to the back of the line so that those who came here legally, that backlog is cleared before you have opportunities for citizenship. That is a reasonable approach, and one that will ultimately address the biggest problem for American workers, and that is the depressive effect of undocumented workers who aren't right now subject to oftentimes minimum wage laws or worker safety laws or all the other things that make them cheaper for employers. If they're out of the shadows, then we can make sure those laws are enforced and those cost advantages for hiring undocumented workers go away. I think
it's also interesting, you know? And it's funny because when you talk to a liberal, right, about this stuff, especially like Obama being the deporter in chief, actually deporting more people than Trump, they have no clue. They have zero clue that Obama deported more people than Trump. They're always shocked. And then it's like, so now that you know that information, and it's quite easy to Google, like you don't have to just take my word for it. I can Google it right in front of you and it's bam, right there. Now ask yourself, why didn't you know that? Why is it all of a sudden the worst thing ever now that Republicans are doing it, but Democrats were saying and doing the exact same thing not very long ago? Why is it all of a sudden the end of the world? And also, why didn't you know about it then? You know, goodness gracious, man, this is just, thank goodness for the internet, right? Thank goodness for the internet. I got some more clips though. This is from 2008.
This administration, the Bush administration, has done nothing to control the problem that we have. We've had 5 million undocumented workers come over the borders since George Bush took office. It has become an extraordinary problem. And the reason the American people are concerned is because they are seeing their own economic position slip away. And oftentimes, employers are exploiting these undocumented workers. They're not paying the minimum wage. They're not observing worker safety laws. As president, I will make sure that we finally have the kind of border security that we need. That's step number one. Step number two is to take on employers. Right now, an employer has more of a chance of getting hit by lightning than be prosecuted for hiring an undocumented worker. That has to change. They have to be held accountable. Start shedding some light on the problem, and we can once again be a nation of laws and a nation of immigrants. That's what I intend to do as president of the United States.
Oh, man. You know, goodness gracious. I love this. I love this. I absolutely love this because it completely destroys the narrative. Completely destroys it, man. Goodness gracious. Do me a favor, y'all. First, make sure you hit the like button. All right? Leave a comment for the algorithm. And then also make sure you share this video. Okay? America needs to see videos like this. And they need to, well, for a multitude of reasons, but one being so people realize and wake up to the fact that they're being lied to and their emotions are being played with. Because the very same thing that Trump is doing and saying now, Democrats said and did before. But mainstream media didn't create this hoopla around it and call Democrats a bunch of Nazis and Hitler and all of this other stuff. They're only doing it now. But the same thing was being done before. And I want people to realize that and see it. So maybe one day in this country, we can have an honest mainstream media. Not ones that try to lie and manipulate things and play with people's emotions. Because you don't think the mainstream media, you don't think CNN or MSDNC, or I guess they're going to be called BS now. You don't think they have these clips too? They have them. They'll never show you the clips. Because they want you to be angry about this. They want you to be mad. They want the leftists and the liberals to lose their minds over deportation. They want them to believe that Trump is Hitler and blah, 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 and this whole mess. That's what they want. But the reality is that Democrats did the exact same thing and said the exact same things. So yeah, make sure you guys hit the arrow button down below, copy the link, paste it on your Instagram, your Twitter, your Facebook, send it via email, text message. I don't care. Post it anywhere and everywhere. All right? Y'all stay safe out there. Peace and love. I'm out.